Hi, I'm Michael Lasky, and I'm here with Erica Dolnikova.
Hello, everybody.
And it's a Saturday, and day 6 of our Master Cleanse experience. It's day 6 of the Lemonade Diet, rather. And it's in the middle of this weekend that falls in the middle of the cleanse. And I got thinking about the term weekend, and I want to make it into a strong end, meaning it's 3 days of kind of challenge. It's a weekend, and so we're halfway through the process, so we can start getting a little lackadaisical. Also, there's a lot of social temptations from the weekend. Plus, we're a halfway point where we can recognize our successes or failures or whatever they are. And so we wanted to jump on the camera and tell you where we're at and what's been happening. And so Erica's got some stuff to share, and I got some stuff to share. I know that Erica, you wanted to talk about, what were you hoping to talk about?
Well, I just wanted to deliver the news that yesterday I was basically out with a friend of mine. We've been mostly working from home, so it was easy on us while we were doing the lemonade. But yesterday I had a meet up with a friend of mine I haven't seen for a year, and we went out and spent quite a bit of time walking, went for a long walk, and I ran out of the lemonade, and when we went to eat, she's pregnant, so we had to go and get something to eat for her. I basically decided to have a little bit of soup because I was really hungry, and I just couldn't go home because there was no food for her if we went to our house. So I just basically had a little bit of soup. It was a organic kind of tomato basil, one of those soups that are all not mashed but pureed, I guess.
Yeah, it was
so
a simple soup.
Very simple. There was no chewing involved, but I had some food. So that basically also got me to make the decision that I'm going to start easing out of the cleanse a little bit. I'm still going to mostly drink the lemonade, but
it's going to be like a prolonged ease out, like
that
a
kind
blending.
of a thing. Yeah. And it's actually very much fine with me because I consider myself very healthy. I keep myself on a diet that's very, very healthy, and so the Master Cleanse was actually for me an opportunity to cleanse the other aspects of me, which is emotional and the mental body, and
an area that you've been focusing on, right? Erica and I together came up with this concept of 30 days to master cleansing, which is to focus more on the holistic aspect of cleansing, not just this lemonade diet that's only 10 days in the middle of 30. And you can tell by your posts, they're mostly built around the emotional, physical, or not the physical so much, but the emotional and the energetic bodies. And so you're certainly able to focus on that. I'm interested by Erica. Obviously, we live together, and so we're working together and we're cleansing together, and so we're always talking about what's going on. But I was interested in a couple of things about that. The first one was just to point out to you guys that when you're out and about, if you don't have the lemonade with you properly, you're going to be more susceptible to temptation. It's much easier to fall into that. And second of all, there's no one way to do all this stuff, right? And, people want to say there's this way. It's the way. It's strict Stanley, as my good friend Peter Glickman would say. And, of course, he also does say, I suppose that means that an average person can't understand a benefit or a new value if you're not a doctor or whatever. So it's kind of fun. We can recognize that there's more than one way to do things. And so Erica's cleanse journey has taken her down a certain path. And we've been seeing on Facebook a lot of people's experiences like that. I remember the one girl was saying that she got really ill, and she did all kinds of variations, right? So some variations are certainly not welcome.
And it's really mostly because a lot of people do it for the fact that they want to lose weight.
And she wanted to lose weight so quickly. It becomes such an ambition. It becomes almost this...
the focus of the cleanse, and that is not supposed to be the focus of the cleanse, because weight loss
needs
is a side effect.
It needs to be a beneficial side effect. And if you're in a place where you're unhealthy, you're massively overweight, or you're just a little overweight, or have a disease of some kind, the Master Cleanse is good for that. It's meant to be a corrective measure. In fact, people use it for healing. And Stanley Burroughs himself says, as a reducing diet, the Master Cleanse is beyond compare. And there are times where you need to reduce, but you got to keep a healthy balance to what your expectations are. You can't have this maniacal plan, right, to lose weight. And neither of us need to. Like we're both pretty thin, and
we really didn't do it to lose the weight. And I think that's why it was so easy for me to get the benefit that I needed from it, which I did, which I'm going to talk about a little later on. But just the fact that I feel better, I feel light. I didn't really have any discomfort as headaches or pains, like really intense pains in my body. I had little things coming and going, but it was more connected to me with the emotions that were bubbling up. The only discomfort that I was actually experiencing was that I was frustrated. Certain emotions and maybe some past and stories about, me or about people around me that I keep telling myself were sort of bubbling up, and I was really there to pay attention. That was the whole focus of this cleanse for me. And yesterday when I was out with my friend, we had a really good talk. She's somebody I haven't seen for a year, and she's very sort of insightful and very good listener. And I just got to a place in my mind where I was able to process everything that happened in the last few days in a way that just got me into this wonderful, peaceful place where I made some decisions also that were really important for me, and that was really where I felt that I've done what I needed to do. I still want to keep going because it's an ongoing thing. It really never ends when you're cleansing your emotional body and when you're cleansing your mental body and really getting rid of all these patterns that hinders you in your life, in your relationships, and hinders your body because you recreate your body from that point. But I think for me, this little load that I was able to take off was enough, and I really felt good about that.
Also, I think you, as you said, are continuing to go through this 30 days of master cleansing process where she's going to continue to share with us her elongated ease out or blended ease out, but also continue to present her material on the different cleansing aspects of how we can cleanse ourselves in our lives. And there's some more stuff to follow, like how to cleanse our air and our water, but also our environment in which we live, the earth as a macro example and our homes as a micro example, from the smallest things to the biggest ideas. But Erica, I'm in the same boat as Erica. I'm not doing the master cleanse so much for weight loss at all. In fact, I'm now at 177 pounds, so I've lost 7 pounds. And my weight when I was 16 years old was about 165. When I was 18 years old, it was about 185. Until I was about 20 years old and got to college, at 21, I was 185. So 185 is about and I was like a well-sized, athlete type guy. But when I got to college, they put us through these workout programs. I got really big and strong. And I ended up getting to 245 pounds at one point. But and so I was going to talk about this point that I'm at in the cleanse because I did the cleanse where Erica was looking at the holistic aspect of cleansing, and we're providing this framework for her to talk about that. I'm also although I recognize it's been 18 months since I did the cleanse myself, and so I felt I was due because I put my body through some stresses in 18 months, both psychologically, emotionally, physically, all of that. But I was swimming in the oceans, in the rivers of Costa Rica and picking up parasites, I'm certain. So I know cleansing is good for my physical body, but and I'm really curious about the physical results of it. And I love documenting. And so this opportunity for us to do the cleanse again, do it together, explore these ideas, document it and present it to you guys, has got me really kind of digging down into the self-care aspect, which I presented on earlier. And so, if I may, I'm going to just talk about my state, because I've been tracking my state through my spreadsheet, and right now I'm down to 177 pounds, like I said, and a couple of aspects that got me curious, thinking, where am I going to stop losing weight? Because almost all experiences I read from the thousands of people on the website, through the books I've read, is that they stop losing weight at a certain point. And I believe that's when you get to a natural, like, sort of stripped down you. And so you may lose some muscle. You may lose some muscle mass. Now it got me thinking, okay, if my body is smart, and I gotta think it is, just like I think the earth is smart and the universe is smart, and there's this wisdom that permeates all this existence of ours, then my body knows what it's doing, and my mind is less smart than all of those things probably at this point. But who knows? I think we're working as a team, so maybe we're equally as smart. But I got to imagine that my body's eliminating what it needs to. It's not cannibalizing the healthiest tissues. It's getting rid of the weakest ones, the oldest ones, just like we shed skin and hair, right? And so that's my belief. I don't know if that's true. But it brings me to my point about my scale. We got this scale that measures our weight, and it measures our body fat percentage, but it's one of those real cheap ones. The one I showed you in the Master Cleanse kit is quite a bit more expensive. It's $80, but it's much more advanced. And they're starting to get more advanced, but that one measures your muscle mass and your bone density, because those are the two areas that I don't want to lose body composition from. Anyway, so my body fat seems to be lowering slightly, and I'm hoping I don't lose much more weight. In fact, I've been eating a lot. I've been drinking doubles.
Yeah, I mean, we've been both drinking a lot of the lemonade the whole time.
Probably not more than I would like. In fact, I'm preparing this little spreadsheet of all the different calories and nutrients and vitamins that are made up of the process, and how many you'll get with 6 glasses, 8 glasses, 10 glasses, 12 glasses, 8 and 16 glasses. And so, you know, I tried to go like 10. I thought maybe 10 or 12 would be good. I don't care. I'll drink as much as I can. But I haven't been that hungry, you know, and I feel pretty good. Now, back to the self-care notes just real quick, so I won't get rid of these off my to-do here. I'm curious about some other aspects statistically. My blood sugar, number one. So I've been poking myself like I have diabetes, but of course I don't. And my blood sugar's holding strong, so I'm not getting insulin spikes due to a high glycemic index of maple syrup. And that was one thing people talk about a lot, but it's holding pretty strong, and I have a nice steady results from that. In addition, we're also testing our pH.
Yeah.
And my pH is stable, and it's in the average range. It's not getting lower or higher.
The same with both of us, yeah.
Even though lemon, outside of the body, is acidic in nature, but inside the body it actually has an alkalizing effect. I'm not certain what the long-term effects are on pH, but I know this: a more alkaline state, the better.
Yeah.
Right? And so we want to achieve alkalinity.
Well, basically, the people that have cancer, they have they're really, really ill. Their body is really acidic at that point.
Tends to be.
So tends to be.
And the foods we eat are highly acidic, right? Like pops and refined foods.
Yeah, it depends on what we choose. I mean, you know, a lot of people
maybe
don't
not the
choose.
Foods we eat.
Yeah, I mean, because we really
except for McDonald's and
healthy.
Tim Hortons.
Yeah, but I think even if you put some bad food, quote unquote, into your body here and there, if you mostly keep your diet very good and very balanced, your body functions well enough, especially if you keep that in mind, it functions well enough to just know what it can keep, what it wants to keep for the energy and the benefit of it, and what it just wants to get rid of, because it was sort of just you were eating it for the fun of it, not for the energy and the other benefits that you get from it. So when you actually have a diet that's mostly pretty good, which is what we do, that maintains your weight and your health pretty well. And even if you vary a little bit and you sort of off the path of the wellness path, you know, for a couple of minutes, and you're having something that's sweet or that's, you know, somewhat consider a junk food, I think that's fine, because your body can balance that out as long as you give it a hand with sort of an ongoing, really good, nutritious diet that you're on.
And like you wanted to bring up, and a relationship with food goes both ways. Number one, it means not having this addiction with food, but number two, not feeling shameful about
not
eating,
hating it,
not hating the food,
not really looking at it as it's going constantly against you, because I think that's why people actually have so many problems with body weight, because and the best quote about food I've ever heard was, "We're not what we eat, we are what we think we eat." And today's research in you know, metaphysics, because everything is energy, is actually proving that we interact with food. We actually give it purpose. So when you constantly think about food as something that's going to make you fat or that's going to harm you in some way, then that's the purpose that unfortunately that food has for you, and that's what it's going to do in your body as well.
Yeah, it reminds me of